Just calling the meeting to order. Um, First item to consider is the minutes from the December 15th meeting. Did everyone get a chance? Oh, Dylan's great. Did everyone get a chance to take a look at the minutes? Any corrections? Hearing none, the minutes are accepted as written. Okay, we have public input. We actually have public input this time. I'm guessing that Daniel Camaro is not with us. Okay, so did everyone get a chance to take a look at his note? Daniel is suggesting that since we've gone through the effort to rebuild the courts and add the basketball court over at Gould Manor, he is suggesting that we put some lights on the basketball court. And I don't know. I went down to Gould Manor today. I think it's a great idea. The basketball court has very nice high fencing, and if you put two lights on the fencing away from on the side, Crestwood side, furthest away on the court from the basket, you could illuminate the court without any light going to the neighbors. The problem I have with that, so I do think it's an idea that maybe we should have Anthony and his team consider, and get it onto the agenda for next month. But my concern is if we do it for the basketball court at Gould Manor, will there be other neighborhoods with basketball courts who may request the same? And if we do it for the basketball court, why not the pickleball court? Why not the tennis court at Gould Manor? And the basketball court is tucked nicely back and protected on one side by the baseball field and on the other side by an outcropping of rocks. So you could light that without any impact to the neighbors, but I think you would have a real hard time with the pickleball court and the tennis court if we tried to light the whole thing. So I guess it's worth looking into, but I'd love to hear what anyone else had to say, and if we can get a sense of the body for February, if we want to even consider it.
Can I just ask for our own background or for point of information? Is this number one? I guess is there funds available to even do? Yeah, okay. So this would be something that would be a budget item for future budget, right?
So that's why we can't approve this because we don't know how much it would cost, what the implications would be.
Or make a recommendation. Okay. And then are there other town bodies that would have to be involved in this decision beyond this fine group of individuals?
Yes.
Okay.
For the funding, Anthony?
Depends on the cost.
Okay, but no other town bodies would have to be involved for the decision except for the funding of it, correct? So
planning and zoning and conservation would have to sign off on the approval of it because the current approval was without lights. So we didn't go for the public hearing for that. It's not impossible. It's not something that I would recommend that we explore at the moment. I would rather wait and see what the master plan is going to turn out. But I mean, I agree. It's definitely an option. It is tucked away. It could be theoretically a good spot. Is basketball going to be the first thing I would want lit, around town? I don't know. Pickleball people, I could hear them already. We don't have any baseball fields that are lit either. So there's another group that I know wants lights and has been clamoring for years. So it's an idea, though.
Yep. All right.
Happy to explore.
Any other comments? All right. Moving to the actual agenda items. First up, we have Bob Wall on behalf of the Sustainable Task Force requesting permission to hold a mattress collection event on April 23rd of this year, 8:30 to 12:30 at Veterans Park. Mr. Wall?
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes, if you would first just state your name and your address for the record, and then talk a little bit about your request.
Sure. My name is Bob Wall. I live at 277 Crestwood Road, a few feet away from said basketball half court. But I am currently the chair of the Sustainable Fairfield Task Force. And last summer, we came before this commission to seek approval for an identical event at Veterans Park. It was the first ever townwide mattress recycling collection event, and it was wildly successful. We got about 150 mattresses or box springs. We were working in partnership with the Mattress Recycling Council, which is a national nonprofit with offices in Connecticut, as well as Park City Green, which is the actual recycling facility located in Bridgeport. And we did this in partnership with the Department of Public Works and the Solid Waste and Recycling Commission. I believe my friend Misty Byer came before this body last summer to get approval. So we're simply seeking approval to conduct another event. We selected this date because it falls during the Earth Day week. It's actually the day after the actual Earth Day. And we would like to continue holding these events twice a year, unless and until the town agrees to join the vast majority of towns in Connecticut and have mattress collection available year-round at the transfer station. That's not an option at present, so they heartily support our efforts to conduct this. And the beauty of holding such an event is that roughly 75 to 85% of the components of mattresses and box springs can be reclaimed and sent to various recycling facilities, as opposed to being incinerated at the Wheelabrator plant in Bridgeport, which, as you know, has serious health repercussions on not only Bridgeport, but also Fairfield and surrounding communities. So we're trying to take the mattresses out of that incineration process and put them to further good use. So we've worked also with the town's risk management department, and they provide the necessary insurance required by the Mattress Recycling Council. Last year's event was held at identical hours on a Saturday in September, and it went off without any hitches. The residents came and dropped off the mattresses. There was a truck there that I believe they filled up completely twice. They had to drive it back to Bridgeport and then come back. But just in that morning, they were able to fill 2 truckloads full of mattresses. So with that, I'll happily take any questions from the commission.
Sure. I have one question, then we'll open up to the commissioners. In your notes, you say we would like to schedule a follow-up event for spring and continue to offer the fall event.
Correct.
But you're not asking at this point for us to approve a date in the fall for the fall event.
No,
which means you can,
yeah, we haven't
which
selected
means
a
you have to
date.
come back to us.
Yeah, it'd be nice if you guys had a form or something, but we'll happily come back. And if we knew now that we could have requested it twice, we would have done so. But we were just trying to secure this date both with the town and with the Mattress Recycling Council, because they serve the entire state of Connecticut, and so they were reserving this date for us. And last year we also, we had tried for an earlier date, but it conflicted with a soccer tournament. So not knowing what your event schedule is for the fall, we'll work with you all and try to identify a free date. And this is only involving the parking lot on the Reef Road side. So cars come in at the southern entrance and wait in line a few minutes, and their mattresses are taken from their vehicle and placed onto the truck, and then they exit.
Anthony, is that date work? Thank you, Kelly.
Yeah, the date should be fine. Galen will have to adjust the soccer or rugby schedule, whatever she has going on that date. No rugby tournaments that day.
Any questions?
Yeah, Bob, what's the holdup by the town? I don't really understand that.
Yeah, nor do we. It seems to be common in our area, Fairfield County, but over 3/4 of the municipalities in the state offer year-round collection events. I'm not sure if it's a spacing. I know they're trying to reorganize the transfer station, and when all the dust settles, they'll determine if they have space for a permanent trailer there. There were some other concerns about staffing, but it is relatively minimal work required on behalf of the town. But in the meantime, this seemed to work very well. The residents were ecstatic that they had an opportunity to drop their mattresses off free of charge, as opposed to what happens if they bring it to the transfer station. And, we just put the mattresses to good use instead of burning them.
Thank you.
Any other questions? Okay, anyone like to make a motion to approve?
Okay, so moved.
Okay, we have a motion to accept this by McKay. Do we have a second?
A second.
Second from Bonnie. All right. Thank you. Since there's no other public here, any other comments from the commission? All those in favor, and why don't we just, raise our hands. All those in favor? Okay, unanimous. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And is there any need to get any further paperwork with you guys?
Kelly? Contact Kelly.
Okay. Thank you, Kelly, and thank you for the notification. I had it in my my phone. I was glad when it popped up an hour ago.
All right, thank you. Good luck.
Thank you very much. I'll sign off now.
Okay, great. Okay, next up, we have our own Galen Brown on behalf of Parks and Recreation, requests to hold the Beach Bunny 5K community event on April 16th, 2022.
Thank you so much. Galen Brown, Assistant Director of Parks and Recreation. So we're super excited about potentially having this event. We historically have our Easter extravaganza. It used to just be like a 5-minute egg scramble at Sullivan Field, but we've been constantly kind of trying to look for ways to expand upon it. The team identified this opportunity to have a 5K at Jennings Beach. Also have like a complimentary family bunny hop, which is just an untimed 1-mile event. We're going to have like back-to-back children's egg scrambles by age, DJ, food trucks, sponsors. So we're looking forward to this event kind of potentially coming to fruition. We had low-key planned it in 2020 and canceled it for obvious reasons in 20, went virtual in 21. And so we're really hoping to, move forward with this event in 22.
Great. What would you expect? What kind of turnout?
Yeah, I mean, just
What would you hope for?
in the preliminary figures that we've put together, we're hoping to have a minimum of 250 participants in the 5K, but then building upon that for I guess years to come.
Excellent. So I guess I don't have to ask you, Anthony, if the date works. I assume that's good. So any questions for Galen?
Is there
Yes, okay.
a registration fee, or is there like a charity component, anything like any just additional information like that?
Absolutely. So there is a fee associated with participating in the 5K. It would be, I'll just say like initially $30 and then go up to $35 after a set point in time, potentially on or around March 1st. Any of the funds raised would ultimately be going to pay for the event itself and then back into our parks and recreation programs and events. But there are multiple free components to this event. The free family bunny hop, which is just a 1 mile kind of like family festive, I guess, walk. And then there's children's egg scrambles, a scramble scheduled for kiddos 6 and younger, and then another scramble scheduled for kids 7 and older. And those are free.
Bridget, you had a question?
Sorry, I call in from my phone. My only concern, Galen, is that I know it's the day before Easter, but it's also, as you know, spring break. So I feel like a lot of Fairfield families this year especially are going to be heading out of town because they'll be excited to finally be able to go on vacation. So I don't know if that was something you thought about.
Yeah, historically we have this Easter event, I guess the Saturday before Easter. And so we were just looking to kind of continue on with that tradition. And this year would be the first year that we're actually going to have it. If attendance is really low, we could potentially look at changing the date for future years or coming up with the new concept altogether. I worry about it being too early in April and or in March, just in terms of weather. It could be gorgeous, it could be snowing. It's kind of like a roll of the dice either way. But it is something that we've considered in terms of the family breaks and vacations and whatnot.
Galen, I have a question. This is Dylan O'Connor. So I saw that you are working with Marty and the police department and the fire department. Do they also take care of any concerns from neighbors? How does that work?
Yeah, and so we would be putting together a letter and hand delivering it to the neighbors that are on the route that would be affected by this event. And then also encourage them to participate, wear costumes, cheer on people going by, but we would need to communicate with everyone that would be impacted. So we do have a route prepared. And we'd be notifying everyone on the affected route.
I mean, I would imagine it's probably similar to the half marathon because that's the route that you're proposing is similar to part of the route on the half marathon.
Yep.
Yes. So I just wanted to, okay, thank you.
Any other questions? Someone would like to make a motion then to approve?
I'll make a motion to approve I'm sorry, what are we calling it? E25K for April 16th down at Jennings Beach.
Okay.
Second,
We
McKay.
have a motion from Dylan and a second from McKay. Thank you. Again, no further public with us. So any other comments? All those in favor? Okay, it's unanimous.
Thank you.
Excellent. Good
Thank you
luck.
so much.
All right. Bonnie, the Board of Ed report.
So the superintendent just proposed his budget. It's coming in at a 6.22% increase, about $12 million. So we had our first meeting last night. We have 2 more meetings next week to sort of vet it, but really there's a couple enhancements in the budget, a true up for special education funding. Some of the enhancements are the middle school block schedule, the math textbooks, the early literacy academy, the family and community liaison position, some cybersecurity, some technology and equipment and facilities maintenance and safety. I don't know if anybody has any questions on it. Obviously, it's an ongoing process. We've submitted a lot of questions online. You can always tune into the meetings. So much fun.
Any questions for Bonnie?
That's a big increase. What's driving it again?
Well, one of the bigger drivers in that number is a true up for the special education funding. So right now we're about $2.9 million in the red for outplacements, for speech evals and services and psych evals. Mr. Mancusi went over sort of the crisis we're seeing in our kids, and what that's the effect that that's having on the budget. So it is a big number.
So you're seeing kids in regular education being moved into special ed because of COVID?
Well, I think there's a lot of different things going on. We are seeing children who had previously not been identified needing services now. Yeah. There's a mental health crisis in the country. It's not just in Fairfield, it's not just in Connecticut. But we're seeing large amounts of anxiety, depression, all of that.
No, I think you're right. So, I mean, is the town earmarking that money towards special ed? Or this is a decision, obviously, for the RTM, but do you think that they will?
I don't know. You know, we did discuss the tuition line item last night. There wasn't that much discussion from the board. We've known, I mean, every year we kind of find ourselves in this position at the end of the year or the budget, but at the end when we have to cut things because special ed has gone over budget. I mean, it's a volatile line item. You know, you can never predict who's going to need what. And now we're coming out of this pandemic, which you're obviously seeing needs grow. So I feel very bad for Mr. Mancusi because it is extremely volatile, and in this climate, we need even more. So, you know, if a child is struggling, you need to provide them the help that they need, and then we need to figure out where that money's coming from. So, that's it.
No, that's awesome. Good luck.
Thanks.
If I can add a piece from the early childhood perspective, I've had a child who received services at the ECC, and he began his services during the pandemic, and it was an incredibly difficult process to go through. So from a parent perspective, I would imagine that a lot of people who were in my position just quit, just gave up, because it was so hard to do. It was all online. It was all on Google Meets. Hours and hours of them watching him and me turning the computer screen so they could see his behavioral and speech patterns. So I can imagine that the influx of new children receiving services at the ECC level, at least, I can't speak to the higher grade levels, they're probably seeing a big influx of people who can now apply in person and do it with more confidence.
Yeah, I actually asked the question to Mr. Mancusi where we're seeing the largest drivers in the speech evals and services, and he's indicated it was preschool, kindergarten, those grades where those kids haven't been in school without a mask on. I mean, how do you get speech services with a mask on? It's very difficult. How do you learn how to read?
Yeah.
You know, so
exactly.
I think it is a concern we've heard from parents since schools shut down, and it's only gotten worse. And now we're seeing 107% increase in the speech line item in the budget. So,
yeah, I mean, they have to. I mean, from a 4-year-old's perspective, they're pushing into kindergarten next year, and I'm like, he's not ready. But they're like, he has to go. There's no place for him here.
Yeah,
there's no room.
It's very, very difficult, and you know, the kids have definitely suffered.
Agreed.
So, Bonnie, if you need some support for your budget, let me know.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Bonnie.
Thanks.
All right, Anthony, Director and Program Reports.
Okay. Staff has been extremely busy planning our spring and summer programs. Everybody should have received their brochure in the mail, hopefully last week. We went back to print finally coming out of COVID, so we were very excited to do that. We've been working on our special events calendar as you guys just approved the Beach Bunny 5K. We are looking forward to doing our normal summer concert series, Sand Jam movie nights, peanut butter jams, and a whole bunch of other things. So just keep your eyes open for that. After some delays with our beach stickers, which normally went on sale December 1st, they did come in last week, so we started selling them. I think approximately we've sold about 10,000 in the first week. We do about 40,000 annually, so we're a quarter of the way there. The 10,000 people coming in right now are not really thinking about the beach. I'm sure some of them are. Most of them are using the transfer station, so they use it regularly and need their sticker for that. Budget season has just begun. It's a lot later than usual, so I'm hoping I will be bringing you guys budgets hopefully next meeting, provided we have one in February. That would be when I would bring the budgets to you guys. First Selectwoman will be releasing her budget sometime in February. We don't have specific dates yet on any of these meetings. We did just do the capital planning workshop with the Board of Finance and the Board of Selectmen. As I had mentioned to you guys prior, we have 5 projects that we presented for this upcoming year. One of them was an emergency project, which is the restoration to Lake Mohegan, the beachfront that needs to be dredged due to Storm Ida back in the first week of September. Jackie Durrell kitchen upgrades, bathroom upgrades, Dwight tennis courts, the tennis center lights, and the big project that we are pushing forward is the Roger Ludlow turf fields at the middle school with lights. So I will keep you guys all posted. Again, we have no dates for budget meetings. We have no dates for the next, for the actual funding for the capital plan. But I do have everything for the most part lined up. So again, I'll try to get that to you guys in February. Try to get some feedback on it. Other than that, we're plugging along. Things are slowly going back to normal, I think. I'm hoping. I'm not really sure, but I'm optimistic. So happy to take any questions.
Anthony, I can't remember. What is the deadline for the Marina renewals?
February 15th.
February 15th. Okay. Do you think maybe we could get an update from see how it's going?
Yeah. So
Next week or two?
Yeah, we can definitely get you an update. I can have him put that together. Robocalls went out today to all the people that didn't renew. I believe Justin told us as of this morning he's a day ahead of where he normally is, which essentially means he's about where he normally is. So yeah. He probably has about 100 renewals right now.
Okay. Yeah, let's as much as we can, you know, let's just document all the letters, all the emails, all the robocalls, and you know, hopefully we won't have any fiascos post the February date.
Yep.
Some of you guys haven't had the fun opportunity to live through that yet, though. So we've had appeals and what we have at a high point like 50 or 60 one year, and it's been pretty good the last few years, but there's always a couple of appeals that come before us. Thank you. Any other questions for Anthony?
Is there any way that a text could be sent instead of a call?
Oh. What was? I don't know what the question was.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Sorry, there's a lot of animal sounds happening in my house right now. Is there any way a text can be sent instead of a phone call or an email?
So I believe the phone call is accompanied with text and an email. It's the Everbridge system, which is the police department. But I can confirm that with you. I believe it is a text message. It's the same system that anytime we have a storm emergency, that the police department uses.
So with the update, as long as I just love everyone to be as prepared for the eventual as possible. So if Justin can, just give us in the update, the letter went out this, the email went out this, the robocall and text, if that's the case, went out on, what's the 19th. And yeah, just so we're armed for anyone to come in front of us. That'd be great. All right. Any other questions? All right, good of the order. McKay, I know you reached out about the AED. Did any chance you do anything?
I can't say I've made much progress beyond reaching out to you on that. But no, it's actually on my to-do list. Hopefully we'll get an initial kickoff meeting in the next. Well, it won't be next week because I'm out of town, but hopefully early February.
All right, super.
If I could just make sure we're following protocol. So if you're going to have a meeting, you've got to notice it with Kelly. She's got to send it to the town clerk. It's got to be open to the public, the whole 9 yards.
Thank you for that reminder.
No problem.
Yeah, and we have not done anything with the pickleball courts except, just we asked the conservation about the parking lot up at Lake Mohegan if they might entertain that idea, and they might entertain it, but they haven't they haven't put it forth to their agenda, which we're not pushing them to do that yet because I think we're all gonna just kind of kick back a little bit and wait till we see what's moving forward on the master plan before we take on any of those. Yes, Anthony.
Galen, since you're on the call, do you want to give just a brief, very brief update about the master plan and the progress? I know we had a meeting today with the consultant. We just want to fill the commission in a little.
Yeah, so I don't want to repeat anything that's already been said, but we're super, super excited to be a part of this process. We've already had one public input meeting, close to 1,000 survey respondents for our master planning survey. And Anthony, Doug Novak, and I went out and surveyed over 29 sites to kind of put together a list of sites that we feel like should be targeted. But yes, pickleball, dog parks, all of these things are being discussed right now. And we ourselves have a lot of ideas and we're super excited for the next steps. There's definitely going to be a second public input meeting. There's also going to be individual neighborhood meetings. And we're in the process of putting together what we would call round robin meetings with our key stakeholders. So whether that's our internal department, Parks and Rec Commission, and then different user groups that we think would need to have a platform to be heard. So I'm really excited for this process to be coming to fruition. And yeah, hopefully by spring, summer, we're in good shape to wrap up.
Great. Just please keep us posted on all the meetings.
Okay.
I don't think we're going to attend all of them, but just let's make sure that we all know. So if we want to go, I know Jamie and I went to the initial meeting and it was well worth being there.
Absolutely.
Talk to a lot of people. So, all right, super. Thank you.
Yeah,
Anything
Brian,
else?
There's
Yes.
some subcommittees that you created. I wasn't on one of them, so put me anywhere.
Well, I know there was a little hesitation getting the third person for the pickleball committee, and Chris volunteered. So I don't think Chris would have a real difficult time accepting you as a replacement.
All right.
So
Someday I'll play.
I'd be happy. I'd be happy to reach out to Chris and ask him if he'd be willing to step down and let you replace him.
Okay.
Thank you. All right. If there's nothing else, going once, going twice. All right. Thank you very much, everyone.
Thank you.
Everybody.
Thank you. Good night.
Good night.
Good night.